The threat of a fire breaking out is constantly likely in well-known derelict buildings, and without proper protection, it can have devastating consequences. In today's Urbandoned video, we are covering two abandoned sites in the middle of England, Bramcote Secondary School in Nottinghamshire and Clayton Hotel in Staffordshire. Although both sites seem different in function, in 2021 they unfortunately suffered from blazes that decimated much of their interiors. However, offered enough that had survived to provoke us to venture inside to see the after effects. Remember to click subscribe and press the notification bell to never miss a video. Olight sent us their Batten 3 Pro Max torch, their first magnesium alloy torch they have made. This thing is wicked. With a maximum 2500 lumens, a battery runtime of up to 60 days and a magnetic end, it is perfect for urban exploring, camping in the dark or finding something in your car's footwell at night. Olight currently have a March flash sale ending on the 17th at midnight, so check it out in the description and grab yourself a torch. First, we are taking a closer look at Bramcote School, a large property in Nottinghamshire built in 1948, which we had wanted to visit since early 2020, but never got the chance. 2 months after the fire occurred, we were nearby and decided to check out what remained. Wandering around the fence line, the building still appears mostly intact, but as soon as you get closer you can see the regions destroyed by the blaze, where the roof was in tatters and dangling metal creaked in the wind. So we're inside an abandoned school that, like the hotel I'm pretty sure we're going to collaborate this video with, it's also suffered a major fire in the last month. But surprisingly, very easy access, no security or alarms or anything like that. You can see the fire damage through there. And as soon as you get over the fence, you're in. I believe these are maths classrooms from the notices on the walls. I'll take that back actually, this one's Spanish. The skylight's nice. It did seem that even though vandals must have accessed the school for years, a lot of classroom equipment and furniture still sat idle. Nice little courtyard. I like the curves of this building. Bits of it look quite modern, but then other bits seem to date back to the 60s. But here you can see the fire damage. Practically the whole central corridor and some of the classrooms leading off from it have been obliterated by vandals. It's very sad because I feel like this building could have been repurposed, but this bit now is definitely going to have to get demolished. The entire door has collapsed there, and all the frames around it. Got to be careful where I'm standing, there's so many rusty beams and roof supports that have crashed down. But here is the epicenter of the fire damage, and it is a shame because this was a really nice curved corridor from what I'd seen that took you from the main two sections of the school. And just an example of one of the classrooms, unrecognisable now. What seemed surreal was how little of the school's original purpose was evident in these blackened rooms. It was as if the fire had removed all memory from the building, leaving it a shadow of its former self. It's a lovely curved bay window in this classroom.
Damage is no different up here. In fact, it's arguably worse looking at these classrooms. Oh, this is quite nice, despite the fire damage. Looks like a science lab, maybe?
I think it's food tech.
Yeah, no, you could be right, actually. Yeah, baking trays, containers. You can see them on the drawers there.
Jesus Christ. That's 4 classrooms, but there's no walls or boundaries between them now. And look what they're being held up by. This is a rusty projector right in front of me, by the way. In the early hours of Thursday, September 16th, 2021, firefighters were called to Bramcote School to tackle a mighty blaze in the building that had been shuttered for 4 years. 60 personnel and 12 fire engines were on site well after the sun had risen to stabilise the alight premises. It was a major event, forcing local schools and roads to shut, but thankfully no one was injured. The property's location within a public park meant nobody needed to evacuate the area, and an investigation was soon launched to determine the cause of the incident.
Look how the metal's bent. Just shows the sheer heat of these fires when they occur.
What was once a curving 60s Art Deco corridor was ruined, as well as various classrooms and offices, making the restoration task considerably more challenging. This might be the source of the fire. Although it does seem a bit away from the main portion of it. Just a room full of papers, very small room. Probably quite ideal to start a fire. Product design and graphic products. Oh, this is really cool. To have all the tools hung up on the wall. And the workbenches are quite spacious. Health and safety was definitely a consideration, like it is at most schools. Always takes me back when we're in an abandoned educational place.
Back out of the burnt section now, into the more just vandalised really. Looks like there's some stuff still though. This one seems to have everything remaining. Maybe a teacher office potentially.
Yeah, like a little staff room.
Yeah.
It's the science one though, biology, chemistry, physics. That means there's probably labs nearby.
Corridor continues. Looks like Alistair was right. I think these are little science rooms by the looks of it. Yeah, I can see the Bunsen burner, or the gas taps for the Bunsen burner even. Very small, but it's nice to see the desk still in place. Student books here. Key stage 3. And this is all their work. Sad to see it just left, to be honest. Over here, these look like exam papers as well. For GCSE by the looks of it.
There's a bunch of old microscopes in here. And some other equipment. Signal generator and amplifier. And an oscillator. The science labs in particular showed the complete transition from utter devastation to somewhere the 480 pupils at one time would remember fondly. Nearly everything was left, and it was a throwback for us to think of our periods in science class and how it must feel to see a place from your childhood in this condition. Here's the class's homework for the week. A couple of questions they had to answer. There's no date as to when this was, but this is definitely real writing from a teacher. So this interesting coloured room from down the corridor.
Not the room itself, but the colours is quite hospital-like, maybe like some of the asylums.
Yeah, it is. It's an IT classroom. No computers left there. This is going to be the gym. It's a bit trashed, but more so what you'd expect from a school gym, with those wooden climbing frames at the side and the ropes. The sunlight coming in makes it really nice. There's a very broken table tennis table in this side room to the gym, and another row machine in the other. This looks to be quite an old rowing machine with the curvy seats made out of wood. There's a vaulting table, I think it's called. Oh, and these are quite cool. Two huge trampolines. I don't think I've ever seen these in an abandoned building, but there you go. And this one looks in relatively good condition too, so I think I know what's going to happen when we finish filming.
So we're getting to the end of the main corridor that runs through the middle of the site. It's where the fire damage stops again. This looks like a nice lobby area here. Some blue pillars. Bit different, nice to see some decent architecture in here. Yeah, makes sense for it to be the main entrance as well. Some really nice details on these banisters leading down to what looks to be a gym, judging by the floor from what I can see. But we'll go find out. Oh wow. Look at the green on this room. It's really nice, it pops well. It's a lot bigger, this room, than I expected, to be honest. You can tell that the markings on the floor that would have been used for gym activities, but most likely for assemblies and shows as well.
There's a projector room up there we need to check out. You could see why we had been very intrigued by this school, despite its obliteration by the fire. This green auditorium, again with lovely Art Deco features, was where hundreds of students would have piled in for assemblies and performances. Bits of costume on the stage, I believe. And here's the winding mechanisms. There's even a few bits of set for various school plays. You can see bricks and what looks like waves, but very abstract. I think they're a bit too heavy to turn around, so I can't see this one at the front.
Just found out this extremely strange delay echo. Sounds almost like a helicopter or something.
It does. It sounds like a helicopter.
You can see pictures here for food. Yeah, definitely, it's the canteen.
Yeah, it makes sense it being near the main hall.
Yeah, exactly. Another bright colour scheme as well in this room.
Oh, I like the artwork, yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. This is actually maybe where they ate, not in the main hall.
Yeah, probably.
Safe to say that this place won't be used for dog training after the fire.
On the roof, we analysed how much of the site had been affected by the blaze, and it looked like at least half. There were plans for the building to be demolished in the way for housing, but this received complaint because of its position in the public park. Whether this would still go ahead now is another question. Earlier in the year, we were at the derelict Clayton Hotel in Staffordshire, which once would have offered some Victorian details, but was totally refurbished in 2009. Like Bramcote, even though a large fire ripped through the building recently, there was surprisingly no security or protection of any sorts, and we soon stepped into the structure with ease. In 2017, the hotel warranted concerns from the local council following a detailed investigation into crime, underage drinking and hygiene issues that put a marker on its head. The building was yet another COVID closure, shutting at the start of the first lockdown in March 2020, but never reopening.
It's possibly the easiest access we could have asked for.
Straight into a function room of some sort.
Not bad, the chandelier's really nice.
Yeah, and there's a stage where they'd perform. Probably live music for meals.
Looks like there's some furniture and stuff left too, so.
There's various CCTV cameras that look fairly modern inside and outside, but I don't think this place is going to be too much bother, judging by the access. Some huge kitchens for the size of this place. These bird cages.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Some other ornaments. It's such a mess. You can tell the locals have had good rummage through this place for anything expensive.
I'm surprised some of the glassware's not smashed though.
Yeah.
Oh, quite a lot of glasses in here. Appears they're doing work.
Yeah.
I'll say that and now look.
There were more similarities with the high school, especially with the fact that although a massive fire had surged through the site and vandals seemed to be entering the grounds on a daily basis, most of the furniture and belongings remained.
Oh, bar lounge area by the looks of it.
It's a bit tacky.
Yeah, it is.
It's
cool
very
that
smashed.
Yeah, it's nice that all the furniture's still here.
It smells of beer. It's going to be another bar. This one's quite nice. It's a bit luxury with the black furnishings and decor. That coffee table's been obliterated.
This part looks really interesting. Like a lobby area by the looks of it. This huge plant. And here's the fire. There's a fire this month, about 3 weeks ago, and you can see the damage just here. What a shame.
Firefighters shared these images, taken during the hotel's blaze at 10:20 p.m, April 2nd, 2021. Once again, a vast amount of vehicles and team was required to stifle the glowing flames visible from the roof, and only when the last embers were dying in the morning, the full picture of the damage caused was visible. Another investigation launched, but probably with no results, just like Bramcote School. However, it is quite clear who started the fire in both situations, judging from the smashed windows and rummaged through drawers. We're having to use the staff only bit to get past the fire damaged part, because that is pretty much impassable. This looks like it leads to a restaurant maybe. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's strange how the fire splits intact bits with each other.
Looks like a really nice open space. A lot of natural light. Main entrance, obviously.
Very modern in here, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But it's not too bad. This tree would have lit up. Would have been quite nice. Definitely fits the aesthetic of this place. This thing just works perfectly. Now we're going to have a look at some of the hotel rooms. They're trashed just like everything else, but you get the idea. They're quite nice rooms. That leather padding behind the beds. You've got a huge wardrobe, a lot of space there, and a bath. So yeah, these aren't the worst hotel rooms I've seen, especially looking at the rest of this place. Some of the rooms are a bit smaller and of a different layout. Some have these little makeup desks, but they're all relatively the same. Every single one has a bath, which I didn't expect. This is a double bed. It's the first one I've seen. This is surreal with the fire damage at the end of the corridor. Wow. This must be the master bedroom. I'm not seeing any like this. Huge double bed, loads of space and furniture. Although it's clear that this was not how they left it when the place closed. Go check out this. I know there would have been more rooms here and maybe some bars, but I don't think it's worth going over that to get into the corridor there. I think we'll leave that for someone a bit more stupid to do. After completing our exploration of the hotel, with the bedrooms getting very repetitive, we ambled out of the open door to move on to the next location. Currently, we aren't aware of any plans for the future of Clayton Hotel, however we would assume that demolition is the only option. We hope you enjoyed a detailed look at these two facilities and the newsworthy incidents that have permanently affected their chances of being saved. Here are some of our photographs captured at the abandoned buildings destroyed by fire. If you like the look of them, check out our Instagram page in the description, where we share images from our explores months before they are seen on YouTube. Thanks for watching. In our upcoming episode, we have quite a special industrial exploration for you. We guarantee you won't want to miss it. See you next time.